It's 3:07 a.m. and you are wide awake. No, it wasn't any sound that woke you up or you didn't have any nightmare. You're just up at 3 a.m. and your mind is racing. You're thinking about tomorrow. You're thinking about that email you didn't respond to, or you're thinking about deadlines, or you're thinking about maybe what to say in the meeting tomorrow that didn't go quite well today, or something like that. But you're just replaying these things in your mind. There's this low key anxiety that's building while you're laying there at 3 a.m. in the morning. And maybe somebody taught you how to do a breathing exercise or to count backwards or to do something that's going to put you back to sleep. But you're just there staring up at the ceiling, wondering how in the world you're going to get to sleep because tomorrow is a very big day. The next thing you know, the snooze alarm goes off, 6 a.m., and you've got to get up and get ready for the next day and show up with all your brilliance. And this is where I want to tell you that if you are experiencing something like this, it is not just stress, it is not just anxiety, but it is something that your body is trying to signal you with. And once you can understand this, everything changes. So, here I want to talk to a very specific woman right now. You're around the age of like early 40s to 50, and perimenopausal symptoms are real. A lot of times, women just don't understand what's happening. So, you're in a demanding career, maybe in tech, maybe in finance, maybe in healthcare leadership of some sort. But running on empty is no fun anymore because when you're not sleeping, your body is not rested. How does your brain work? Where do you get the energy from to do the work in the day that's required of you? Waking up every morning between 2 and 4 is exhausting. Your mind starts racing, but that's the time when your body actually needs the energy to sleep, to rest, so that it can have the energy to make decisions and do things in the next day. But when you're up and awake at that hour, it totally disturbs your day. Not getting sleep between 2 and 4 a.m. is exhausting. That's the time when your body actually needs to sleep and rest in the deepest state that it knows how, because you're tapping into the subconscious mind at that time. And then you're slowly awakening into your conscious world again. But when you're not sleeping through that time, it is a very difficult way to process yourself the next day because it's just chaos. The mind is already racing, but with what? It's just noise. And the next day, when you show up, you're supposed to be brilliant in front of all these people, right? You've tried meditation, you've tried all kinds of yoga exercises, tried to have relaxation techniques of all sorts. And at your work, perhaps women just kind of laugh with each other. Oh, you too, hot flashes. I can't stand the sound of my partner breathing. I mean, it usually ends up affecting the ones you love the most because you're just trying to manage these symptoms, but you don't know what's happening to you. And, just the sound of someone chewing loud is so annoying and aggravating, especially your partner doing that, or just even them breathing and existing. Something that was so beautiful before is like so annoying and gets under your skin. So every day, if you're feeling like a little less of yourself, I see you and I want to explain something to you about what is exactly happening. And not in some vague wellness language, but I'm going to speak to you in Ayurvedic terms. Ayurveda is a 5,000-year-old healing system from India that actually helps you to understand what exactly is happening to your body because it is a science that has been proven. And modern medicine now is actually proving the things that have been said in Ayurveda for thousands of years. So here's what Western medicine will tell you that your estrogen is low and your progesterone is declining. You're just getting old, and that's just how it is. And that's accurate at some level, but it's incomplete because it doesn't quite explain why you specifically, the high achieving woman who has accomplished so much, the perfectionist, the woman who is driving forces to create things and to develop our company or to build throughout some other company is experiencing these things so intensely. So Ayurveda is a place where it will fill the gap in your understanding why this is perhaps happening. In Ayurveda medicine, we talk about three primary energies that govern how your mind and body functions. The first one is called vata, which is air and space elements coming together, and is everything that moves your nervous system, your thoughts, how you sleep at night is all movement at a very subtle energy level. The second one is called pitta. That is fire energy, and your ambition and your focus abilities and the how you compete and you lead in a driving force with motivation and this fire you have inside of you that drives you. It's very important to understand that this is what brings you excellence because it gives you the drive, the motivation, that fire to build and to create and to keep going, pushing through with your willpower when everything is like nobody's believing in you or anything like that. But this is the fire that starts burning you out. And what are hot flashes? Hot flashes are the fire element in your system that's going out of control. So here's what's perhaps happening to your body right now. The hormonal shift of perimenopause, the dropping of estrogen, the irregular progesterone, it destabilizes vata dosha. This nervous system that you have, it loses its anchor. It becomes hypersensitive and erratic, and it cannot settle. And this is because you've spent years, maybe decades, pouring fuel into this pitta fire that through this relentless achievement and learning and like going to school, building your career through climbing the corporate ladder and all the pressure and the performance and everything else that goes into it. It takes a lot out of you. And you're never fully recovering this fire in any way because you're not finding the balance. So this fire is now scorching. And that very thing that made you run and be so successful is now burning you up and it's out of control. It's too much fire and there's not enough energy left because when the fire energy is burning at a balanced level, you create tons of energy inside of you. But if it's over burning, then if I can say that, if it's creating so much fire that it's burning everything in sight, then what's left there? You're exhausted. In both Ayurveda and modern medicine, we understand that that's the time when the liver is doing its deepest work. It's cleaning itself out, it's processing, it's resetting itself, it's setting you up for success in your next day. But when this precise window, when the cortisol level starts to increase, and it slowly does because your body's setting you up for waking you up the next morning. But there's something is off because you're just awake. So your stress hormone, it begins to do this work much earlier and prepare you to wake up than the right time. So the circadian rhythm is off also, right? So in a regulated system, the rise is very gentle. But in this way, when you're waking up at 3 a.m., it's like this harsh strike to your body, and you just wake up like with a jolt. And it's like, what's going on? So in your system right now, the nervous system is running on depleted mode, and which means high vata dosha, which is air and space, which is an ungrounded feeling of uncertainty. And perhaps years of your body, you were ready to go to school, to figure things out. You were on fire, you were on point with your schedule. But now the internal system is shifting. So you have to listen to your body and you have to start reading the signs. In your system right now, your nervous system is running on a depleted mode, which means that as soon as that cortisol spike starts to happen, it's like an alarm bell saying there's a threat signal coming and you wake up. And once you wake up, your mind is already running. It already wants to help you heal. Your heart starts beating a little bit faster, and no amount of willpower that you have in that time will turn that off. Because it's not just about coming from your mind, it's coming from your psychology, your mindset. And this is not weakness. This is your intelligent body that has been running on 110% for far too long. It is now a time when it is demanding to be heard. It wants you to listen to what is happening inside of you because everything outside will continue to happen. Your job will happen, your life will happen outside. But what about you internally? We have to find the balance. This is where you find the wisdom within and step into your wisdom years with success. Now, I'm going to give you one thing that's going to work for you, not a 12-step program or something that is a long course that you can't really follow because you're exhausted and you need something immediately right now. So, with that, I'm going to give you something called Abhyanga. It is a warm oil self massage, and it all you have to do with a simplified version of it. In Ayurveda, there's a longer process to it, but I'm going to give you a very simplified version that you can do before bed every night. And this is it can be done in the morning as well, or you can do it before bedtime. It's only a 3 to 5 minute massage You take some warm sesame oil and put it on the soles of your feet. You can rub it gently and apply it to the soles of your feet. That's it. And I'm going to tell you why it works. It's because the soles of the feet, it contains some of the dense concentration of nerve endings in the body. And in Ayurveda, this area directly is connected to calming the vata dosha, air and space, because it's grounding to the nervous system. The oils will absorb through and ground you immediately. When you apply warm oil here, you are sending a signal through your entire nervous system that you are safe and safety is available. And that's when you can stop running from this threatened state that you have coming from within you that's dysregulating your nervous system. And this warm oil itself is just like calming, just for a few seconds. In Ayurveda, also, when you apply this oil, it's called snehana. Snehana is in Sanskrit means to love. And to love is like a mother's love. When the oil touches your body, your skin, it basically absorbs in and it gives you that comfort, that warmth, that kind of a feeling of, like I feel good with this. And with that, your nervous system starts to reset itself and it starts to rebuild. And that new signal is there that I'm safe, I'm okay. So you can start putting your phone away in another room, turn off all the electronics that you have, and start to focus on yourself. Start to focus on what is it going to take to get calm the nervous system, because you have to start working from the inside. That's the first place that we should work on in regulating any kind of hot flashes, any kind of sleep disorders, anything at all. It's the nervous system. And one more thing that I want to say to you is that you got to stop pushing through. And I say this with complete compassion and love because it is easy for women who are high achievers to set up their day for the next day and to march forth and just got to get through it. And once it starts to feel good, you just push a little bit more. Guess who knows this the best? Moi. I do this myself. So I have learned to regulate myself because I have to slow down, meditate, whatever it takes to slow yourself down, especially in the morning. And caffeine is not your best friend. You've got to have something else in the morning. You've got to have food. You've got to have a warm drink. You've got to have something that's going to help your system calm down before you put caffeine in there. So the first caffeine should happen maybe around 9:30 a.m., not 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. as soon as you wake up, because when you do that, it gives your cortisol a jolt and you just crash and burn before you know it. So please don't do that. Start with small, consistent steps, and you will get to a place where you will find yourself again. I want to say one thing to you before we close, and it comes from a lot of love and compassion again, that this is not a burnout and this is not something that a vacation will fix, or taking some depression medication is going to make everything go away. And I say this, with you staying under the care of your medical doctor if you are under any kind of medication. But I just want you to know that if you start going within, you will find all the answers within yourself, and stay in touch with your medical doctor if that's what you need at the time, and help them wean you off of these medications, because there is a way to for you to find yourself when I mean, typically when people go to a doctor, the first thing that they tell them about the symptoms, and then what do they walk away with is a pill. There's no real plan. I mean, they have to write you some kind of medication or something to help you fall asleep better, or to feel good. And what is the process in today's world? I mean, most people end up with some kind of sleeping pills or medication for anxiety or depression or something to calm the nerves. So this is a process. Using the oils is a natural way to calm the nerves. There are so many different ways. So I just want you to know that this is a transition, and a very significant one that you are going through right now. And it requires a different kind of attention at this time that maybe you haven't quite given yourself before. It may even be a sort of a minor habit change or a little bit more discipline, but it's not more willpower, or you have to put something else into it that's going to take away from your day to day. But it's just a different kind of intelligence, a different conversation that we're having, especially if you're a high achieving woman and your instinct in the hard moments is to just work harder and get to something. But here, you don't have to work hard. You have to let yourself relax and get to know yourself a little bit better. And this is what this channel is for. If this resonated with you, then please do subscribe. because next week I'm going to go deeper into the pitta fire, which is the willpower and your ability to charge forward with everything that is driving the irritability and the heat in the system and also emotional reaction. And I'm going to show exactly how Ayurveda says and what it does about how to turn down that fire without losing yourself in that.